The first thing I am not wasting my money on in 2025 is sports betting. I know you've all seen the ads by now from DraftKings, Prize Picks, FanDuel, and they pay celebrities and creators so much money to get these ads in our faces. Like, I enjoy the Theo Vaughn podcast and I watch the Nelk Boys, and boy, they talk about Prize Picks all the time. So because of all this hardcore advertising, sports betting has become so much more popular today. According to a research survey by St. Bonaventure, almost 1 in 5 Americans have an online sports betting account. And so why is it so popular? 85% of people who have an account say that sports betting makes the game more exciting, which makes sense. And 71% of people who made an account only signed up because there was a promotion where they could get free money from their first bet. And we all know these ads are directed towards young adult males. That's why 39% of men age 18 to 49 now have an online sports betting account. My biggest issue with this and why I am not partaking is because I feel like this is a gateway drug into gambling problems and that whole world. So to go along with this, the next thing I am not wasting my money on in 2025 is Polymarket. This is another website in which you can place bets on anything, literally anything. Polymarket's become really known now because of the large scale gains that some of the users have made. Like, this user earned $47 million for betting on Donald Trump's electoral victory. And of course, so many other stories similar to that. But the reality is, in order to achieve these massive payouts, up to 89% of Polymarket participants are on the losing side of the bets. Okay, let's move on from gambling in this video. We all understand the risk. That's why in this video, I'm gonna be sharing all of the other things I'm not wasting my money on in 2025. Some of them might make sense to you and other things you might judge me for. But just know that I'm not a cheapskate. I just like to save on some things so I can spend it on other things that really matter to me. That's what frugality is all about. The third thing I won't be wasting my money on this year is last-minute plane tickets. I'm sure you've already had a sense of this, but ticket prices do rise 20 to 30% in the last week before flying. And some airlines have reported that flights could increase in price by as much as 80%. And honestly, that's what it felt like when I tried to book this recent trip out to Utah. It ended up being over $800 because I was booking last minute. So the way we're gonna combat this is by planning out trips at the beginning of the year, really mapping out on a calendar where we wanna go, so that we're able to properly plan our flights. This year, it was very spur of the moment travel. The fourth thing I'm not wasting my money on is random bank fees. According to a survey by moneyrates.com, Americans are paying around $167 per year in banking fees. This amounts to about $14 per month. Here are some of the most common of these banking fees. There are the monthly maintenance fees that could be $10 to $15 if you don't have a certain minimum amount in your account. There are the ATM fees that could be $2 to $5 just for taking out your cash. And of course, there are the vicious overdraft fees. Honestly, I don't know why those still exist. They only exist with the big banks, where if you end up spending more than what's in your checking account, it's gonna charge you an overdraft fee. Like, why don't you just deny my transaction? Like, really? That's why one of the best ways to avoid these annoying banking fees is by working with a good bank. Usually online banks don't have these overdraft fees and monthly maintenance fees because they don't need to charge you in order to keep up some building and all their overhead. It's literally just online. But if you want to stay with the big bank, just make sure you maintain those minimum balances so you waive those fees, and just don't be spreading your money all thin into different accounts where you're no longer meeting those minimum balances. I'm also not planning on wasting my money on any cable TV. Haven't done it since I moved out of my parents' house because basic plans average around $25-40 per month, and better plans can be around $70 to $150 a month. All right, the next thing I'm not putting my money towards this year at all is credit card interest. The average annual percentage rate or interest rate offered with a new credit card nowadays is 24.43%. And man, if you're watching this video and you are in some type of credit card debt, that should be your primary focus right now. I don't want you to pay any more of that interest. I had a friend I was recently talking to, and they were discussing how they wanted to get into investing, how they wanted to pay for vacations and trips and buy a house. But then I learned they owed over $10,000 in credit card debt. And immediately, I told them to hold your horses on all these other goals and literally just focus on paying off that debt. Because if you're still paying 24.4 whatever percent towards interest, that is no match to whatever small returns you'll get from investing or buying real estate. The next thing I'm not putting my money towards is unused gym memberships. We all know it's January and everyone's out to get shredded from January 1st to January 7th, but the unfortunate statistic is that 67% of gym memberships go unused. And 12% of all gym memberships are initiated in January, which obviously is a peak month with all the New Year's resolutions. If you're just getting started into fitness, maybe you're not trying to become a bodybuilder, maybe you're not training for a specific athletic event, just go and begin with bodyweight stuff. Watch videos on YouTube, maybe use your community gym. You don't need much in order to get started and to get toned and even to lose weight. And if you do like the accountability of going to a gym and being in the zone, because I understand that, don't go right ahead and order the most expensive gym membership from Lifetime Fitness. Go and just start at your local Planet Fitness. $10.99, and all the machines are perfect for you. The eighth thing I am not wasting my money on in 2025 are delivery fees. Americans spend an average of $654 per year on delivery fees, service fees, and tips alone for food delivery services. I recently went to a college campus and asked the students if they knew the prices of typical grocery items, and this one guy I spoke to had no idea what the actual cost of something like milk or eggs would be because he ordered everything off Instacart. He thought a gallon of milk cost like 11 bucks. And that's just because of all those annoying delivery fees that get packed on to the actual price of the good. Okay, the ninth thing that I am not wasting my money on in 2025 was something that I made a mistake of purchasing in years prior. And I'm talking about TShirt Packs. I thought I was a genius. I thought, man, I can get 6 shirts for $12. That is $2 a shirt. But turns out after the first wash, these shirts like shrunk up and got all misshapen and out of whack. Literally after the first wash and first wash and drought. The 10th thing I am not buying in the next year is something that is special to me and you, and that is not any new YouTube equipment. Okay, I love the simplicity of these videos, and I'm glad you guys are enjoying it too. And boy, I am glad you guys aren't the impatient type that needs crazy edits and animations just to keep your attention. I'm happy I can just talk here with you and just share fun B-roll clips of my life and what I find online. And from a practical standpoint, obviously I haven't made much money from this channel. I think since we started, the Frugal Rich has made like $100, and I honestly think these videos won't get any better just by adding equipment, but they will get better as I become a better storyteller, better communicator, and a better writer. Which leads to number 11. I am not paying for a script writer for this channel, right? I want to speak from my own words, my own perspective. So I jot down all these ideas for a video. This one isn't even fully scripted out. I just made an outline of things that I wanted to share with you, and I'm just gonna speak to you from the soul. So with that, if you've been enjoying this video so far, make sure to subscribe because we're gonna be uploading every single week for the new year of 2025. Okay, this next thing I'm not wasting my money on is something pretty specific to me, but you might also relate to it if you're someone that likes to be busy and likes to hustle. I am not putting my money towards any new business ventures. I think today we all have this sort of shiny object syndrome, like trying to go after things that look attractive, and like literally everyone is trying to start up 30 side hustles because they heard millionaires have like 30 streams of income. But in reality, most of a millionaire's income does come from just 1 or 2 sources. Like if you see a business YouTuber that talks about how they became a millionaire by 30 because of 10 income sources, most of their money is really coming from their YouTube channel. And to be transparent, for me, I get paid by other companies to make content for them, so that's my main stream of income. And then I get some brand deals and sponsorships from my own videos, which is another big stream of income. But this year, I am not going to be investing any more money into trying new businesses like doing some new e-commerce thing or trying to start some podcast with some partners. It's just a lot, and I want to be really laser focused on what I'm actually passionate about, which is making these videos for you. And maybe you're not an entrepreneur, but hopefully this principle in staying laser focused on your long-term goals and not getting distracted by side projects is one way you can save tons of money and eventually earn a lot more money. Like we all know the saying, jack of all trades, but master of none. I don't want you to be like that. I really want you to become a master of one thing so that you can really help people solve that one problem you have the solution to. The 13th thing that I'm not wasting my money on is more productivity apps. I've tried them. I've gotten Notion before. There's that new one, Motion as well. Notion, so similar. But really, I couldn't help but just go back to the classic Google stuff like Drive, Calendar, Sheets. Keeps me pretty organized, and I'm able to share it with different people because everybody has a Gmail account. And The whole Google suite is free. I know Notion has a free version of the app too that you could probably get a lot out of, but just the thing with these new apps or these small startups that are trying to build productivity tools, honestly, I don't know how long these startups are gonna last too. Like, what if I invest all this time and energy into making a nice setup on some Notion copycat and then they end up closing down? Like, my whole system's gone. So instead of spending $10 to $30 a month on a subscription for a productivity app, I'm just sticking with what's free and efficient. And remember, your productivity isn't about the tools you pay for, it's really just about how you use them. And if you want to convince me in the comments otherwise, let me know. The next thing I'm not wasting my money on this year is chasing travel rewards, all right? Most of these travel credit cards have really high annual fees, often ranging from $95 to like $700 or more. And if you're paying these fees, they can quickly just take down the value of any of the rewards you earn, especially if you don't travel that frequently. For some business owners or executives, it might make sense because you might just be getting reimbursed for some of your trips, so might as well just get some points out of it. But for the majority of people, you ain't traveling that much. The next reason I'm not chasing travel rewards is more of a behavioral and psychological reason. The attraction of earning points or miles can often lead to overspending, and for a lot of these travel credit cards, there's always gonna be this nice looking initial bonus offer that requires you to significantly spend in a short amount of time. For example, spend $5,000 in the first 90 days and then we'll reward you with 80,000 points. But then again, these credit card companies can devalue those points at any time, and now you're incentivized to spend $5,000 in the next 90 days, which you probably wouldn't have done anyways. Number 15, I'm not spending money in TikTok Shop. They got all these flashy discounts, they got all these gamified features when you're shopping there, like wheels you can spin, these live streams where they do these sales events, and it's just so easy to make a purchase you weren't planning on. Like, I've been tempted, right? They'll lure you in with this 30% off sale and give you this false sense of urgency, like I need to buy it now because I'm gonna miss out on this sale. But just because that's there doesn't mean I suddenly need it. But those tactics are working. Their daily sales are now hitting over $7 million. The next thing I'm not buying are new wholesale club memberships. I got Sam's Club. I'm gonna stick to one and I'm good. Just find the one that's closest to you, whether it's Sam's Club, Costco, or BJ's. You don't need to be paying an annual membership on multiple clubs and then only like get a fraction of the value you could be getting from just sticking to one of them. Number 17, tourist knickknacks, or I guess you can call them souvenirs. Okay, I remember when we went to Japan earlier this year, like there's this great store called Don Quixote and they offer so many cool souvenirs. And I remember seeing videos of people like literally buying a whole new check-in luggage so that they can bring all their souvenirs home. The only thing with me is I don't like buying just random knickknacks. That's why I mentioned this in the title, like bobbleheads, fridge magnets, or a shot glass. Those things seem pointless to me. I prefer buying an item with some level of utility that I can use, but also be a reminder of our trip. For example, we did buy a sharp Japanese knife. We also went on this large shopping spree at the biggest Uniqlo in Japan, got a ton of dope outfits with a little bit of that Japanese style in there. And the other things we bought were really just gifts for our family. Like I got my parents a knife as well as a fancy chopstick set. The 18th thing I'm not buying are gimmicky workout gadgets. We all remember the shake weights, and there's other things out there. I remember my parents bought this one thing that you would stand on, like a platform, and it would just like vibrate or shake you like back and forth, and it would help you with toning apparently and fat loss. I just don't want to get caught up in this idea that if I like just do this one thing or use this one gadget, I'm gonna get shredded, because we all know that is not accurate if you're trying to lose weight or meet any other physical fitness goals. You gotta have some variety, and you're gonna get bored of one thing really fast. Okay, the next thing I'm not buying are new kitchen appliances. Most of us honestly just need to cook more, and it's not gonna be a fancy gadget that's gonna get us there. We already got the air fryer, we got a crock pot, we got pans, like we're pretty set. I don't now need an Instant Pot and a pressure cooker and all these different things. I know we're not making meals that are that extravagant, so I'm chilling, and if you're chilling, don't feel any pressure to have to get the next fancy kitchen gadget. Okay, I'm gonna run through these next ones. These are more controversial, but are special to me, all right? I'm not spending my money on avocado toast at a restaurant. I recently made a video where I went to First Watch and ordered an avocado toast there. It literally cost me $12 to buy that piece of bread and a scoop of avocado on there. And then I went ahead and made it at home. Bought the ingredients, itemized it, figured out how much of each ingredient I really used to make my own avocado toast, and I made an amazing meal for around $1.84. So let's just say if I'm going to a brunch spot, I'm probably not ordering the avocado toast. I'll get something else, something I don't know how to make, like one of those Eggs Benedict stuff. Number 21, I'm not buying any clothes with a big logo on it. Like if you've been to Ross and you've tried to buy a shirt and you thought you found something real nice, and then you turn it around and they have this giant polo logo on it, it's done. I put it right back, okay? I just know if I buy a shirt with a giant logo on it, one, I'm not that passionate about whoever I'm rocking, and I know those clothes are gonna get old to me really quick. 22, I'm not purchasing alcoholic beverages. This isn't new. If you watched the videos before, you know that I don't drink, and I know like alcoholic beverages can be really expensive, like as much as your meal, if not more. And to be honest, I want to remember my nights out with the homies. 23, I'm not buying any tech that's coming out in 2025. This year, I'm making the conscious decision to skip out on any latest tech releases, and here's why. I'm definitely more of like a late majority kind of buyer. Like I wait until the tech is already proven, reliable, and widely accepted. Like I'm not an early adopter or an innovator, as they say. I don't really get the thrill of buying a new gadget. Like I'll just watch a Marques Brownlee video. He can show me the cool features of what's coming out this year, and that's about it. As we all know, I'm still on that iPhone XS Max gang, and it's still doing good for me. And if there's some iOS update that comes out this year, yes, I'll upgrade, right? I'm not crazy like that. So if you made it this far in the video, I want to gift you something. Right now, I'm giving free access to my Facebook community for the first 1,000 members. So in here, we're gonna be sharing our wins, asking questions, and you can even hop on a live call with me every week through what we call office hours. I'll also be dropping bonus content where I talk to financial professionals on how to do things the smart way, from buying a house without a credit score to saving on taxes each year to even making money on social media. So use the link in my description to join the Frugal Rich community for free. And remember, only the first 1,000 members will get in for free. I am not wasting my money on this year is anything that gets displayed as a viral product. Like this last year, there was the viral Hatch alarm clock and the viral pink stuff, that cleaning supply. If I see a TikTok video and the hook is, here's the viral this, like I just know I'm probably not gonna get it, okay? And last but not least, same principle goes, anything that comes off as a must-have. This comes more from female influencers and creators when they say these are my top 10 Amazon must-haves this year, but don't fall for those buzzwords that could make you feel a little more pressured to get this new trending thing. And once again, guys, I'm not just all about only saving money and just not buying things. I love to travel, I love to experience things. So if you click this video, I'll share with you one way that I've been able to stop buying one thing so that I can spend on something else that I really love to do, which is travel. So give the video a click and I'll see you guys over there.